For those who got into a healthy relationship after a toxic one, what surprised you the most about it? It gave me a whole view of what narcs are like. They suck the energy out of you, bring you down and make you feel that their presence is essential for you to function. I was surprised that I could do things I never thought I could do to escape, and it really tested my strength. Surprised also that someone so loving exists and accepted me despite my past, and never used anything he does for me as a leverage to control or harm me. I was with the archetypal nice guy. He had no agency. He erased himself to become my lapdog. Unsurprisingly, the relationship failed as I just couldn't respect someone that weak. It was also really stressful because I had to be on guard constantly, as if I said something, just in passing, he'd go to great lengths to do it. For example, late one night I suddenly had a craving for waffles, but didn't want to leave my house. I just joke about being torn between my warm house and having warm, fluffy waffles. An hour later, my doorbell rings as he'd left his house, got waffles, brought them to me. He doesn't drive, so he had to go to his mom's house in the middle of the night to borrow her car. It's over-the-top shit disguised as niceness, and I'd feel guilty he'd done something society tells us nice, but I couldn't enjoy it as it was just too much. I also realized he had a lot of manipulative behavior disguised as niceness. For example, when I asked for some time to myself to engage in self-care, he'd turn up with gifts, but that was just him ignoring my desire to be alone for a while. Anyway, to answer your question, what surprised me most is discovering a healthy relationship is one where your partner isn't lapdog. First time my new boyfriend said no to me, I was shocked to realize how much I liked it. It meant he was able to be his own man and he wouldn't erase himself for me. It was very freeing to know I didn't have to preserve his sense of self, as he can do it for himself. It also meant when he did nice things, they didn't feel manipulative. I like how he kept his own interests and friends, and I really like how, when I said I want to be alone for a bit, he respected it. Basically, the healthy aspect of this relationship is the opposite of what we're told as women is healthy. Movies would vilify my current boyfriend and treat my ex as the hero. I didn't realize you can become addicted to toxic relationships because of the ups, downs that produce a high-low feeling in the brain. When I finally got together with someone who was actually good for me, I found myself trying to sabotage the relationship by creating an artificial problem since my brain was chasing that high of fighting and making up. And that's also what I had equated love with. That's why so many struggle to get out of toxic situations. They are literally just so addictive. I'm not with either of those men anymore. I'm with someone lovely now, but I have learned a lot about abusive and toxic behavior and try to be aware of my own self-sabotaging behaviors born out of trauma. It was surprising for me that I wasn't in a constant state of crisis. I look back and recognize that we never could work on underlying issues because it was just crisis all the time. No wonder I felt crazy and exhausted all the time. The amount of trust we have and how peaceful the relationship is. I don't mean peaceful in the sense as quiet and no yelling lol, but how calm I feel and relaxed. We communicate, we actually deeply care for each other. And he always takes care of me. My ex cheated on me early in the relationship, and even for someone who doesn't have anxiety, unfortunately I do, I was constantly worried he would do it again. Overthinking, thinking I was unattractive, and that must have been the reason why he did it, etc. We gave it another shot, however. That was foolish, and he was awful to deal with. Because I told no one else about the cheating, so the only person I could get reassurance or talk to about it was him, and after a while he became such an ass about it. My current boyfriend relationship is just so relaxed, full of love, and we've been together 3 years and never once do I worry he cheated on me and vice versa. It's heavenly. Also just the simple fact we are romantic partners, but he's also my best friend. That's the best feeling.